Welcome back to Triple Apex, the podcast where tech meets track. Fans fuel the throttle, and occasionally we argue about tire strategies like it's life or death. I am Aditya, and let me tell you, life flashes before my eyes every time a Ferrari strategy call is due.
I'm Orko, your resident strategist who still thinks Mons is more about vibes than it's racing. Seriously, why do we even race there? It's a glorified yacht show with cars going very slowly.
I'm Nishit, only one who cheered when Maldonado won in Spain 2012. The chaos was immaculate. Plus, he proved that in any given Sunday, anything can happen in F1, even a Williams win. It was a proper Cinderella moment story, one for the history books, and even it was a bit fiery.
And I'm Pratyush. And yes, I still believe Kimi should have never left F1. He had the unshakable leave me alone, I know what I'm doing energy that the paddock desperately needs. Now, we're diving into something huge, something that will fundamentally change how we perceive speed and competition on the track.
Everyone is saying goodbye to DRS of the drag reduction system, which was first introduced in 2011. After over a decade of flappy wing overtakes that sometimes felt more like express lane passes, it will not be used after the end of this session. To be replaced by MOM, Manual Override Mode. Sounds cool, right? Like something out of futuristic racing game, a true test of drivers' instincts.
Yup, MOM is coming in 2026 and it could totally reshape how drivers go wheel to wheel. This isn't just about pressing a button for speed, it's about strategy, timing, mind games. It's back to chess at 300 kilometers per hour, except your queen just got a temporary rocket boost and the board is constantly shifting. MOM has been explicitly added to aid overtaking, but the big question on everyone's mind is, will it actually work as intended?
And today, we're gonna unpack it all how the overtaking evolved, tracing its roots from sheer bravery to calculated aerodynamics, to what this new system means, bringing the purity of racing, to why some overtakes still give us those goosebumps, the kind that make you jump out of your screen and scream at your TV. Stick around because this is going to deep dive into the heart of F1's DNA.
Plus, few deep dives, there's some race nostalgia and some friendly debates. If one of us brings Power 21, please don't. My blood pressure still hasn't recovered from that race, if you can even call it that. Let's just say it was an expensive parade lap behind a safety car.
Alright, seatbelts on, let's race into it. We have got a lot of ground to cover, and we are not holding back on the opinions.
So, to start off this event, I would like to first go that what even overtaking is. So, overtaking. Let's be real, it's the soul of racing. Without it, we are just watching cars follow each other like an expensive over parade, politely waiting for their turn. But it's the moment of truth, the ultimate gladiatorial contest on four wheels.
It's not just about being faster, it's pressure, it's baiting mistakes, forcing your opponent to defend lines that they don't want to, or making them compromise their exit. It's seeing a half gap and deciding that you are brave or stupid enough to go for it, knowing that a tiny margin could even end your race. It's the split second decision making under immense G forces where instinct trumps everything else.
And when done right, it's magic. Think Alonso versus Schumacher at Imola 2005. No DRS, just two gladiators, lap after lap, testing each other's limits. Alonso blocked like he was defending Gates of Valhalla, making his car impossibly wide on that narrow circuit. Schumacher, the master, tried everything in his book, feinting to the left, darting to the right, but Alonso wasn't yielding. That race was a masterclass in defensive driving and relentless attack. It was a boxing match where every corner was a punch.
And do you guys remember Verstappen on Hamilton at Cops in 2021? Yes, they touched. Yes, it was spicy, but it was racing at its absolute limit. That tension. That's why we watch, right? It wasn't a clean pass, but it was raw, unapologetic aggression. It encapsulated that entire season's rivalry in one corner. demonstrating the sheer will of both drivers. The stakes were so high, you could practically feel the tension in the air. There's a kind of edge of your seat drama that makes everyone so compelling, even if it leads to controversy.
It's not just the pass, it's the build-up, the psychological warfare. Like when Leclerc held off Hamilton in Monza 2019, every lap was like a suspense movie. Leclerc was on the ragged edge, tires screaming, barely keeping his Ferrari point straight, while Hamilton was breathing down his neck, constantly probing for an opening. Without DRS being the main player, it felt raw. It was a demonstration of supreme car control and unwavering mental fortitude from Leclerc. He earned that win truly.
And shout out to Ricardo, the late breaker wing. Remember his triple overtake in Baku 2017? He basically reinvented how to commit to turn one. He dove down the inside of three cars like they were in the wind there, using every millimeter of the track, brushing the wall. It was a move born of audacity and pinpoint precision. Mad lad, that was redefined how possible in that corner. It was a proper hold my beer for many ages.
O- Overtakes are like memes. The best ones are rare, unexpected, and absolutely unforgettable. They become instant classics, replayed endlessly, analyzed frame by frame. They define legacies and fuel pub debates for years to come. They create, they are the currency for F1 folklore.
Enough talking. So, how are how has DRS changed overtaking? DRS stands for Drag Reduction System. 2011 arrives, suddenly rear wing opens like butterfly doors, reducing drag by about 10 to 15%. The guy behind gets a speed boost of typically 10 to 15 kilometers per hour more, sometimes more, depending on the circuit and the car setup. And vroom, overtake done. It was introduced to address the issue of dirty air, making it difficult to follow and pass. On paper, a brilliant solution. The new system, MOM, is here to compensate for the reduction of drag and thus the increment of speed. That was the result of opening the rear wing in the ongoing DRS system. It is a direct functional
At
replacement
first,
but with
at
a
first, it was
different
epic.
mechanical approach.
Remember Bahrain 2014, Hamilton versus Rosberg. They were fighting like kids on Mario Kart, constantly switching places, using DRS like turbo mushrooms. It felt like a genuine duel, constant back and forth because both had the tool. They were both exploiting it to the maximum, creating this incredible, almost cartoonish lead changes every lap. It was a highlight reel on repeat.
So, but after a while, it got predictable. You see a pass coming a lap before. You're just waiting for the overtake to happen, like watching the microwave countdown. It became less drive about the driver skill and more about having the DRS rule and the straight line speed. The art of the overtake started to diminish, replaced by a formulaic approach.
DRS do make things easy, especially in races like Baku. It's like the car behind gets DRS, goes on the straight, zips past, thanks for play. No wheel to wheel, no drama in the braking zone, often no need for a brave dive. It became a press to pass button, reducing the spectacle to a formality on certain tracks. The engineers loved the data, but the fans, well, we wanted more than just a speed differential.
Absolutely. And the DRS trains. Oh my god. Alonso stuck behind Gasly in Spain 2022. He could have launched a space mission and still not gotten past. Everyone has DRS, and so no one went anywhere. The cars in front gain the DRS benefit because they are within a second of the car ahead of them, effectively neutralizing the advantage for the car behind them. It turns into a procession, a frustrating deadlock where even a driver of Alonso's caliber couldn't find a way through. It was a strategic nightmare and a visual both.
It turned into a push to pass mode button, like F1's version of pay to win or a cheat code. Enter DRS, exit excitement. The initial thrill wore off as predictability set in. It's like when you discover a secret drop zone in a video game. Initially cool, but then it takes away from the challenge and exploration.
Now, this brings us to our next segment. How will the overtakes be without DRS? Oof, that's the good stuff. Now, this is the meat. The overtakes that made your jaw drop Hakkinen on Schumacher at Spa 2000. Oof. Use Zonta as a moving chicane. I still rewatch that when I need motivation. It was a pure genius, a level of spatial awareness and daring, and that was truly unparalleled. Hakkinen wasn't just passing Schumacher, he was orchestrating a symphony of speed and precision, using a backmarker to gain an unexpected advantage. The move so iconic in practically is the F1 Hall of Fame.
Senna at Donington to 1993. He overtook 5 cars in 1 lap. In the rain, no DRS, no tire warmers, not a problem. Just pure instinct and a car control. He made other world champions look like amateurs in the appalling conditions. That was a master class in wet weather driving, a demonstration of why he is called the magic. Every single pass was a gamble, yet executed them with surgical precision. It was an exhibition of sheer talent and still sends shivers down my spine.
And do you remember the Verstappen versus Leclerc in Austria 2019? They fought like it was personal. Elbows out, tired rubbing. You could feel the aggression. It wasn't about a button, it was about who wanted it more, who was willing to push their car and their rival to the absolute limit without yielding an inch. The battle was fierce, respectful, but utterly relentless. It showed the competitive fire in both these young drivers' possess.
Yeah, it was great. Overtakes without DRS are like black and white movies. Old school but timeless. You don't forget them, you feel them. They resonate because they represent pure skill, daring, and the raw competitive spirit. They are etched into our memories because they showcase the artistry of driving at the limit, not just the mechanical advantage.
True that, but also they are unpredictable. You don't know if it will work. Drivers commit with zero guarantee. It's like some gladiator stuff. It's a high risk, high reward scenario that defines true racing. That moment of doubt, the commitment, that's where the real excitement lives. Will they make it stick? Will they end up in the grave? That uncertainty is what makes your heart pound.
And that's the thing. Without DRS, overtakes need creativity. Crossovers, switchback, dummy moves. It's art, it's sass. It's manipulating your opponent, forcing them into a defensive error, or exploiting the fraction of seconds. It requires a deep understanding of the racing line, tire degradation, and psychological state of your rival. It's a multi-layer, insane beauty to watch.
So, after all this talking, what is MOM? Alright, so let's break it down. MOM, Manual Override Mode. Coming in 2026, sounds like something you would activate in a spy movie, right? Or a secret weapon from a video game. The nomenclature itself sparks intrigue, hinting at a higher level of driver involvement.
It's electric literally. When the car is trying to overtake is within a certain time gap from the car in front, the car will be given an opportunity to use more electrical power to pass that car. It's that simple. Instead of being opening a wing, drivers within 1 second of the car ahead will get a short power boost from the MGUK. We are talking about 350 kilowatts, nearly 500 horsepower of pure electric punch. And this isn't just a trickle. This is a significant surge from the battery. It's designed to overcome the aerodynamic penalty of following closely, but with a nuanced application.
Becomes a game to use it in the exit of turn 3 at Austria, or to set up for turn 4, or wait for a switchback opportunity into the braking zone, or do you save it for the final run down to the checkered flag? It's a tactical it's tactical, requiring a deep understanding of your car's energy management and the circuit's characteristics. Drivers will have to make snap decisions with massive implications, adding another layer of complexity to the racecraft. This all is made possible by the nearly 300% increment in battery power. Oh, that the new regulations allow.
Guys, एक second. But here's the twist, that boost isn't unlimited nor is it constant. Under the new regulations, the electrical power normally starts to drop at a significant rate when the cars pass 290 kilometer per hour, with a loss in power equivalent for 350 kilowatt or 496 bhp. However, using MOM, the car trying to overtake may keep using the full 350 kilowatt of energy all the way up to 337 kilo per hour. So you can't just blitz every straight like you are in F0 with unlimited boost. You have to time it perfectly. It's not a set it and forget it system. It requires precision and strategic thinking. You need to maximize that window of opportunity. This differential in power application at high speeds is what makes MOM such a critical overtaking tool.
Moving on to segment 5, MOM, which is okay, no. Moving on, moving on to segment 5, the strategy and racecraft that come in with the use of MOM. This is where it gets spicy. It's not just about using the boost, it's about when and how. Do you burn it all trying to pass in one go, leaving yourself vulnerable later on, or do you save it a bit for the next raid, hoping to catch them off guard? It's all about energy deployment, a delicate balance between immediate gain and long term race management. It adds the crucial element of resource management, not unlike the energy systems we already use, but now directly tied to overtaking.
And you only get that override if you're like close enough, that 1 second gap. So defense matters again. If you hold someone off through like a technical session, through a series of corners where they can't go, then boom, they don't get MOM at down to the next straight. It rewards clean, aggressive, and defensive driving. It turns defensive lines into strategic masterpieces, like forcing attackers to be even more creative to get within that activation window.
Fans, they love strategy, obviously. If MMM leads to more cat and mouse like duels, like previously mentioned, Bahrain 2014, where drivers are actively thinking multiple moves ahead, calculating their energy, and outsmarting their rivals, count me in. That's the kind of complex, unfolding drama that keeps us glued to our screens. It's not just about the sprint, it's about marathon of tactical chess.
So with MOM as a strategy, just imagine this. You're behind. You use MOM to fake a move down in the inside, forcing the guy ahead of you to defend and compromise his line. He panics, uses his boost to counter. Then on the next step, bam, you have still got yours in reserve because you didn't actually fully commit. Psychological warfare at its best, I'd say. It's a game of bluff, double bluffs. Take it how many bluffs as you want to take, but forcing your opponent to a second guess of your intentions. This opens up an entirely new strategic avenues for drivers and their engineers. Just think about how much the amount of bees and the number of the controversies that are going to arise from that new session. It's going to be terrific. We are going to get number of large number of memes and a large number of content to share about ourselves.
So
Yeah, definitely.
apart from M1, we even know that the MG's H is also gone in 2026. Energy regeneration will primarily come from the braking units. So managing region, usage, and tactics become parts of a bigger puzzle. The MGUH previously recovered the exhaust energy. So, but since removal means drivers will now be reliant on the braking zones to top up the battery. So this means when there will be more aggressive braking, optimizing lift and coast, and a constant calculation of how energy will be available, or versus how much that is needed to be MOM as it will be used on both the areas.
But
It's a
come
fundamental shift in powertrain management.
Yeah, it's old school meets new school. Like everyone's going back to homework mode. You can't rely on push to pass, you have got to earn it. Through meticulous planning and flawless execution, It's about combining the raw talent of a driver with the sophisticated energy management systems. It's going to highlight the complete package driver, car, and engineer working in perfect harmony, making every overtake a true spectacle of skill and strategy.
Oh, now this brings to our next segment. Active Aero 2. And that's more, active aero. The 2026 regulations aren't just about MOM. The new use of active aerodynamics introduced two types of configuration, which is the X mode and the Z mode. So they're introducing concepts like X mode for low drag and a low drag on straights and Z mode for high downforce in corners. It's like switching gears in a spaceship or transforming a car on the fly. The front and the rear wings will adjust their angles depending on whether the driver is in the corner or in a straight, maximizing efficiency at all times. This is a huge shift from the static aero designs that we have now.
So, yeah, like just Nishya shared, drivers will have to switch modes manually. In X mode, both the front and the rear wings open up to give a low drag coefficient. This can be activated only by drivers in certain parts of the track. Can you imagine flying into your road, pushing almost 8G while toggling aero settings like it's an F1 Microsoft flying simulator? It's an insane level of multitasking. But they'll need to remember to transition from Z mode, where the wings stay closed to provide more downforce, useful in the cornering, to X mode for the straights, and doing it seamlessly at 300 kilometers per hour. One wrong flick of a switch could mean losing a critical tenth or even a trip into the barriers. Just think, the any rookie or any mistake that can happen. It's a really tense mode then.
Yeah, it's a disaster.
And let's be honest, we live for the chaos, the unpredictable moments. Imagine Crofty shouting, he's out of energy, here's a sitting duck down the streets, and the crowd loses it because it's a prime overtaking opportunity that has just materialized or vanished. So that's the kind of high stakes drama that makes us fall in love with F1 all over again. The moment of vulnerability, the unexpected shifts in momentum, that's the pure adrenaline we gave. It adds another dimension to the tension, a layer of fragility that gives every move precarious.
It's going to be technical, risky, and absolutely thrilling. And I bet someone's going to forget to switch modes and end up sliding into a gravel trap, or worse, losing significant time down a straight because they're stuck in high downforce mode. That's the human element. The potential for error that makes racing so compelling. It adds another layer of mental challenge for the drivers, pushing the boundaries of what they can manage at such high speeds. Now, let's our deep dive into the world of overtaking. From flappy wings to fuselage to future tech. What's your favorite overtake of all time and why? Was it pure skill, audacious, or just sheer luck?
Which driver, past or present, do you think will master the MM best? My money is on Hamilton. He thrives on strategic complexity, but watch out for Piastri. That kid's got ice in his veins and a mind for the fine details of energy management.
Tag us in your favorite clips. Tweet your MOM predictions using hashtag SAE-VIT. Send memes. We love memes, especially the ones where a driver runs out of energy at the worst possible time and an engine goes off. They're just, savory moments.
And
Definitely.
until next time, keep it fast, keep it smart, and make the momentum count. May your favorite driver, Max Verstappen, obviously, always have enough energy for the crucial final overtake.
Thank you
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.